Hello guys, and welcome to a new iOS 5 development tutorial. In this tutorial we will be learning about labels and buttons. So let's go to Xcode, and by the way I'm starting a new Android development tutorials, mm, but for now concentrate on the iOS development tutorials. So let's create a new Xcode project, and of course from the iOS section under applications we will be using, of course, the single view application. So double click that and give it a name. I'll call this one labels buttons, and of course it is for the iPhone. And let's press next and create it on our desktop. So if you remember from the previous lesson or tutorial, this is the first my previous tutorial once again. So anyway, to design our interface, and as I have mentioned before, we go directly to viewcontroller.xib, and in this view controller we can design our interface. Here's our view, and down there this is called our objects library, and it is a drag and drop library. So whenever you want to use any of these, you have to press on it, drag it, and insert it, and that's it. So just okay, let me tell you something that um, nearly all applications use this library. So this is a label, this is a button, segmented control, text field, and I'll be explaining about each individually in another tutorials. So for this tutorial we will be learning about the labels and the buttons. It is called the round drag button. Anyway, so drag another button here. So we have a label and a button. Let's think of an application, of a great application that uses a button and a label. Okay, let's double click this button and change its name to press me. So this is how you change the name of your button. The same applies to the label. Double click it and let's keep it label. I'm too lazy to change its name. Anyway, what our program will be doing is the following. When I press this button, the label here will change, and there will be another sentence, let's say. So let's do this by code. Now let me tell you something important, very important. I've told you that each view has a .h file, a .m file, and a .xib file. The .xib file is the interface file. So this label and this button are only found here in our interface, but in our classes they are not declared as a button or text. So our class or our code does not know that these buttons belongs to this class. So anyway, enough with this crap. Let's just use the xib, and from the editor here press on the second one, which will eventually split our code, our pages into two parts, the interface and the file. So over here check that this one is the .h file. Now if I want to use a label or modify its attributes, and the attributes of a label are its name, color, background color, font, anything. Here are the attributes that can be modified by this visual thingy. And if I want to modify it through a code, then I have first of all to tell my program that I'm using a label. So press on this label, press Control or hold the Control button on your keyboard and drag, and that's it. Now give a name to your label. Let's call it my label. Press enter. And this code here has declared that we have a label called my label, and it's over there in the interface. So now we can modify this my label, and everything here will be modified. Now I've mentioned before that the .h file is just for declaring variables or anything, but the .m file is for implementing our code. So let's just go to our .m file, this messy thing, and just go to, okay, don't go anywhere. So these are our previously found or available methods that we can modify, but just ignore them and go to this label, this button. So I want to press this button, and when I press this button I want to change the text on this label. So simply we have to create a method that when the button is pressed, the method will be executed. So also control drag anywhere you want, let's say, okay, over there, and give a name for your method, not your button. If I want to declare my button, I would have done it in the .h file, but since it is a method, then I have to do it in the .m file and give it a name. I'll call it button pressed. And over here the event, you have a variety of choices, but the touch up inside is actually the on-click. So whenever the button is clicked, I don't know why did they call it touch up inside, but this is the on-click method. So just press on connect, and over here is now your method. So if I want to modify anything with my method, it's done over here. So let's just remember, when I press this button, I want this label to change. So just type the name of your label, which is called my label, and put a dot. The dot, after putting the dot, press escape, and you will get all attributes of this my label that can be modified. But for now, just press escape. Another time I want to use the text. I want to modify the text of this my label. So dot text equals to, now remember how to type a string in Objective-C. Use the @ sign, double quotes, and write your sentence. Let's say this is a sentence. Close your double quotes and of course a semicolon. So now our program is ready to run, and we will try it, but just for as a recap, we created we dragged the label over here and a button. In the .h file, I declared my label and call it my label. In the .m file, I dragged the button over here with a method called touch up inside, as I can recall, and this is actually the on-click method. So this is the on-click method. So when the button is pressed, this will be triggered and this line will be executed. So when I run my application and press the press me button, I'll expect that this label will change into this line of code, which is a sentence. So let's try it and see if our code is okay. This is taking some time. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna press this button, and here it is. This is 3 dots. Now since we have I close this emulator, quit emulator by pressing Command Q, and because this was too short for the sentence, so an error occurred, and only two words appeared. Two words. Okay. So if I press it once again, this is a sentence, since this is the space allowed by the text. So I guess that this is all for this tutorial. Now we are able to use labels and buttons. And of course we have a lot of attributes for this, and they are all modified the same way, like .text, .size, .anything is modified over here. And of course the button has also the same things. Now I'll continue explaining or giving another examples in the next tutorial, but just for the sake of setting everything the right way. Now, why didn't I declare my button in the .h file? Well, simply, if I want to modify anything related to this button, not the method or the methods that are executed by this button, then I will declare it. So if I want to change the text on this button or the background of this button or anything related to its shape, then I have to declare it here over here in the .h file and then modify its content. So this is all for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe to my channel if you like it. Bye bye.